this evening is titled The Creation by Bill Northland. Bill claims this play is the product of years of watching Twilight Zone episodes. And they say watching television is a waste of time. I think not. Here is The Creation by Bill Northland.
Norm, shall I wash your coat?
No, dear, I think everything is tidied down and it's in pristine condition.
Well, aren't you cold down there?
Well, no. My portable laboratory radiator keeps it quite warm, thanks.
And when are you going to stop referring to the basement as your laboratory?
Someday people will see that the hours I spent down here will change society to a more efficient one, a more productive one, and if only I can find a way to minimize all this clutter. I just need to stay one step ahead of everybody and be careful who I mention this to. Everybody's always trying to throw me off, of course, with their criticism and suggestions.
Come on, Norman, let's go get out of the house. We'll take a ride to the 5 and Dime.
Okay, I need to pick up some supplies for my creation.
You mean your fantasy?
Scene 2, Willoughby's store, Wallingford, Connecticut. Astrid, followed by Norman, enters the store. A clerk, Tommy Evers, the teenage son of Norman's co-worker, Curtis, greets them.
Good morning, Mrs. Freed. How are you on this lovely Saturday?
Oh, fine, Tommy. Thanks.
Morning, Norman.
I need a box of rock salt
I'll follow you over to aisle 2.
and a razor knife, bar soap, some electrical cable. I hope you have microscope slides.
Sure we do, Mr. Freed. They're over on aisle 7. So, how is your project going?
Oh, you know about the creation.
Yeah, Dad said you were building something in your basement.
My laboratory. You'll learn about this type of machine in your upper classes in high school and in college someday.
Is it like a typewriter with a television attached to it that can calculate?
It's called a computer.
I'm all for life's conveniences, especially when I don't have to work so hard.
Come on, Norm, let's check out.
Ma'am, Mr. Freed has been telling me a little about his computer project.
Dad, he thinks it's going to bring the world closer together. All we need to do is just sit down and talk to each other, face to face, like humans. Instead, we're all going to be isolated from each other, each on our own devices in our own basements.
Scene 3, the Freen basement.
I'll be out of your way in a moment. I'm just hanging up these things to dry. What's on your microscope anyway?
I've got some salt crystals blown up 200 times. They look like cubes, like dice with nothing etched on them yet. But they provide plenty of surface area to put instructions and information on.
Instructions and information.
The more you pack into a minute area, the more compact your computer will be. This is the key to making an accessible appliance that every home is going to want to have.
Salt crystals are the future? Really, Norman? You've lost your mind. One spill and those will wash right away.
Not salt necessarily, but something durable that has a surface area like a crystal or flat like a chip. I just need to find the right material.
Norman is taking a hammer to a chisel into some rocks on his bench.
Certain rocks will fracture just right to form flat chips.
Not that kind, apparently. It's just making a mess. All the girls down at the beauty parlor are talking about the Gem and Minerals show next weekend. Maybe you could find an idea there.
I just might.
Francine Curtis has already purchased their tickets.
Anything to stay one step ahead of me, I swear.
I wish you boys would just play nice.
Scene 4, inside the station wagon of Curtis and Francine Evers. They are 5 years the Freens juniors and live down the block from them. Curtis is chief lab tech at Norm's clinic. Francine works beside Astrid at the beauty shop.
I'd like to get to the Gem and Minerals show early enough to get to the mica and silica table and talk to the fellas there. I just might be able to solve Norman's dilemma before he does.
Always with the competition. Why don't you two work together as a team already?
That didn't get me chief lab tech, honey. I worked beside Norman for 7 years and passed him for the last 3. Besides, there's a lot of prestige at stake here. All the talk in the electronic world is about finding the right material to create computer chips out of.
It's just that Norman has worked so hard on his creation, and I really think that he will just keep right on going.
And I'm going to steal his thunder. This could mean big bucks for us, for our family, for our future.
Scene 5, the Freen Ford Fairlane, 5 minutes behind the Evers.
Norm, watch your speed.
Dear, if I don't get to the show before Curtis Evers, he will beat me to the punch again.
Kurt's just a competitive fellow.
Competitive? The other day he bragged that Evers is 1 letter before Freen in the alphabet.
Pull in. Second driveway. Let's park next to the side door. We'll be less busy.
Would you look at that? Best parking spot in the house, and it belongs to Curtis Evers.
Scene 6, the Gem and Mineral Show, New Haven, Connecticut. Norman and Astrid are looking at samples of mica.
Astrid, do you think I can take these?
Yes, those are samples. Do you think the mica will work for you?
I won't be able to tell until I get it under the microscope, but they may just work.
Too brittle, Norm. They tend to crack when you etch on it.
Well, it sounds like somebody's been doing their homework. Can you suggest something better?
You may want to keep looking down this aisle is all I can tell you.
Astrid and I are going to look at some real gemstones. We'll leave the scientists to grovel in the rocks.
This would be perfect, but it appears there aren't any samples left.
Yes, sir. I got the last of them. They're sure gonna look good under my microscope when I break a sliver off. Always a day late and $1 short, eh, Norm?
Curtis, when are you going to stop riding my coattails to your own victory party? Haven't you had any original thought?
Funny you should say that. Norm, I happen to be in contact with a developer who's ready to purchase my silica chip idea. I just need to develop a sample for them.
Scene 7, on a plane, TWA Flight 619 to San Jose, California, some months later.
Do you want another scotch, Norman?
Don't you think my breath will reek? I don't want to be seen as a man with poor judgment.
It's bad enough you already have peanut breath. Don't worry, you can brush your teeth before your appointment with Mr. Sanders.
Okay, scotch and water, please. On the rocks.
Scene 8, in the lobby of a new high-tech firm in San Jose, California.
The receptionist said room 107. Here it is. Good luck, dear.
Astrid gives him a peck on the cheek, and Norman knocks and enters the room.
Mr. Freen, we are very interested in your idea of using silica chips to store data.
It's going to be the wave of the future, Mr. Samuels.
If we can successfully make a prototype with the specs you provided, you will be handsomely compensated. After we work out some logistics, of course, we will accept a price bid from you on your way out today.
All I need was the idea, sir, and your lasers will do the rest and prove my idea to be a practical one.
I will tell you that you aren't the only party we're in talks with. In fact, there's another gentleman from your hometown.
Scene 9, the Evers front yard. Late spring, Curtis and Francine are seated at a picnic table, celebrating with a picnic lunch.
Curtis, Astrid and I would like to offer our congratulations.
Thanks, folks. Yeah, old Samuels liked my idea. $400,000 is the price.
And I thought it was worth $500,000 at least.
With $400,000, we can easily purchase a home for each of our 5 kids. But we hope there are no hard feelings.
Oh, we'll be fine. Oh, Norm, I forgot to mention, another college kid called asking for a write-up on your computer idea for his thesis. From Oxford, England, Mr. Stephen Hawking.
Just another kid trying to capitalize on my idea.
Well, what do you two do from here?
Actually, I have a surprise to announce. There was a letter in our box today from one of the companies I sent a submission letter to for some of my other inventions. They offered me $5,000 up front. It's not much, but it's a start. So current, I have no hard feelings.
Who's the letter from?
It's from Ron Popeil. of the Ronco Corporation.
Everyone looks at each other and shrugs their shoulders. Thank you, that was the creation.